Hey guys, Justin here from Game Time Edits, giving you guys the skills and industry tips to help pump up the quality of your content creation. In this episode, it's less about Premiere or Resolve and more about what's going on underneath the hood. You may be at the stage where you can get by on the skills you know in your editing programs, but want to build on the performance of your hardware. I'm going to share with you some key components to upgrading or building an edit suite. Things to consider to get more out of your editing program, and hopefully put to rest some myths about which component is more important than the other. Come with me and let's build an edit suite. The 4 most important components inside of your edit suite, or things to consider when buying one, is your CPU or central processing unit, RAM or random access memory, GPU or graphics card, and your storage. Taking the top spot in the list is absolutely your CPU, the workhorse in the back end that is delegating a variety of tasks frequently during your edit. From encoding to transcoding, rendering to exporting, the CPU works around the clock to make sure everything runs how we need it to, and at a speed that we can work with. Without getting too complicated, the current chipsets on the market offer a range of cores, and the more cores your edit software is using, the greater the performance will be. Certain CPUs allow for hyperthreading, which in short, splits a CPU's physical core into 2 so that your video editing software can multitask a great deal more. The speed of a CPU, measured in gigahertz, is also taken into consideration. The faster your CPU is, the faster it will utilize each core to complete a background task. Next up is your graphics card, which I'm sure I don't need to go into as we're all gamers by trade. On the video editing side of things, the GPU helps produce the images we see on the screen. This includes functions like color grading, special effects, and a smoother playback experience. NVIDIA graphics cards give us the ability to use CUDA cores for what is called GPU acceleration, which can take the burden off the CPU when your edit software is performing intensive tasks. Insanely useful when rendering videos at high resolutions. To make sure GPU acceleration is active, make sure you have the latest CUDA drivers for your card from the NVIDIA website. Then head back into Premiere Pro, go to the project settings, then under General, your video rendering playback renderer option should be set to Mercury Playback Engine GPU Acceleration CUDA. The major exception to the GPU versus CPU rule is DaVinci Resolve. This editing software has been built to use your graphic card in all aspects of its core functionality, including fusion, video effects, and color grading. Many DaVinci editors will tell you to prioritize the top-of-the-line graphics card over a CPU. Before purchasing a new graphics card, check out the list of approved and tested recommendations on your editing software support page. Working alongside the CPU, your edit suite's RAM plays a pivotal role in handling multiple processes at the same time. The amount of RAM required is a bit of a how long is a piece of string type question. For 4K vision and above, aim for nothing short of 32GB of DDR4 RAM. For 1080 and under, 16 to 32GB is a safe bet across the board. And finally, anyone who's looking to get serious about video editing should look into an affordable storage solution. Large enough to fit your project files, media cache, game records, and everything else your project requires. USB 3, Thunderbolt, or drives of a similar read-write speed will do the trick, but it depends on the complexity of your video files and how your edit suite is encoding them. For questions or additional information, drop us a line in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Game Time Edits.